Hey guys, it's James from Diskord, and in this part we are going to look at putting together some chords for the breakdown. So we're going to start with the vocal and we're going to write some chords around the vocal. So first thing I'm going to do is just drag that out. What I'm probably going to need to do is just warp it a little bit to keep it in time. So I'm just going to split that there. Okay, I'm just going to do this the kind of lazy quick way and just move, you know, where there's a gap in the vocal, you can just move the next bit to the right place. And then I'm just going to grab that there. It burns my eye. That sounds pretty good. So fearless in your light. The sun, it burns my eye. Just going to crossfade that a little bit. The sun, it burns my eye. Cool. Well, there we go. So I'm going to start with some bass probably. I'm going to use A.N.A again because it's just nice for I think I could probably get away with just a very simple saw bass here because this is literally just going to be filtered down the whole time. So we're in F sharp, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loop the vocal and play some notes until I come up with something that sounds like a decent beginning for a chord sequence. So we'll burn like the sun, so fearless in your light, the sun, it burns my eyes. Okay, I'm hearing something there that already sounds good. Like just to let you into a little secret, if you're not too good at writing chord sequences and stuff, there's sort of a few cliches that are, you know, they're used so often because they work so well. So they include the basically if you know what key the tune is in. So we're in F sharp, so I'm playing F sharp, so you hear those three notes there. If you can make up something using those three bass notes in pretty much any order, it's probably going to sound good. So that's the main root note of the bass, are those three notes. So you can kind of just, so if you're in G, it's the same notes, same pattern, except just move them around a bit. So let me get the piano roll up so you can see what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm basically just going to play with those three notes and see what comes out. Like the sun, so fearless in your light, the sun, it burns my eyes. Oh, let's try that again. That was sounding quite good though. So fearless in your light, the I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to quantize those quickly. So just Command A to select them all. Command U to quantize them to, you know, so they just all line up on the grid. So also just make them all the same velocity. I think that sounds pretty good. So let's use that as a starting point and let's get some chords over the top. So I'm going to add another A.N.A. A.N.A. I really should have asked them how you actually say. So we're going to look through some presets on, they sent us like a bunch of the preset packs as well. So I'm gonna go, let's go synthwave. I like the sound of that. So we're gonna playing chords. So we want something like quite sort of chilled and kind of quite trancey, basically. So not that, basically. We don't want that. I'm just going to record that in. I may try that an octave down. What does that sound like? Okay, that's nice. Let's roll with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick a sound that's got a different character to that. And I'm going to pound one left and one right so that it'll be a full sound. So the stereo image will be full, but they're gonna again, because they're different like characters, they're not gonna kind of clash with each other. So let's just keep going through here. I guess these look pretty good. Sounds quite nice. Okay. Okay, so let's just pan one right and one left. sounds really nice. So it sounds really full, really warm. I think actually the pannings may be a little bit intense. I think probably they don't need to be completely hard left and hard right. So let's just try like 30, just so they're separated, but there's still enough going on in the middle as well. Yeah, that's sounding really nice. So I'm then just gonna add I think I'm gonna add an up. So I'm gonna add an up, but I'm just gonna use another A.N.A because it's just really nice. So that synthwave pack is working out pretty well. So although saying that, it hasn't got anything. We need like a pluck, basically. We need something that's got, there we go, trance plucks. That sounds good to me. Trance plucks. What have we got? I mean, it doesn't get much trance pluckier than a trance pluck, so let's try one of these. Oh, that's nice. So I'm just going to record that in. So there we go. I just need to get the notes in there so I can time them myself. Like this. Okay, there we go. And then what I'm going to do is just be really quick about it and just duplicate that a few times. Okay, no, I've messed that right, haven't I? Let's do that again. Okay, what I've noticed there is that these chords are bang out of time. So let's just quickly quantize those. Okay, so move that to there. And this one. And also you can hear that because the velocities are all different, it's kind of modulating a bit. So just gonna, if you drag them all the way to the top, then you can oh yeah, then you can, they'll stay all the same. So so the reason why I put in an up is because what that'll do is it'll really help you transition from like you can have that running in the intro and then it comes into the breakdown and it'll just help you transition. And also it just helps, so obviously there's no drums, there's no clap, there's no nothing happening here. So an up is going to really help to just keep the rhythm going. Like, so there's still something rhythmic happening even though there's no drums there. So yeah, there we go. Like that is a pretty good place to start for, you know, when we start laying out the track. That's quite a nice breakdown. So let's just play that through.
Burn like that, burn like that.
So it's really simple, but simpler is generally better overall. Like that doesn't mean that there should be nothing complex in your track at all. But the complex parts should be like the exception, not the rule. Like if the majority of the track is fairly simple, then those complicated parts that you put a lot of time into can actually shine through a lot more. So, like, you know, that's something I've had to keep drumming into my head over and over and over again for the sort of 10 or 12 years that I've been writing music. You know, it's easy when you're listening to a loop. You know, you listen to 8 bars over and over again. It's easy to start thinking, oh, this needs to an edit there, it needs to do something else here. But 8 bars really isn't, you know, it's not that long a time. So it doesn't need to do something constantly. Like, you can keep it quite simple, and as long as the melody's decent and the chords are decent, then that's you know, you don't need to go much further than that. So like I say, that's a pretty good breakdown we've got ourselves there. So we'll use that later on when we put the arrangement together. We'll throw that in before the drop, with a build up after it. In the next part, we're going to go back into the drop and kind of fill some gaps and add a bit more excitement with some bass hits. So yeah, it's going to get quite dirty. So come back and join us in the next part.
If you like this course, why not head over to sonicacademy.com, where we have hundreds of complete track builds in every genre imaginable, including all the project files and samples. You'll also find tutorials on plugins and synths, mixing and mastering, over 250 tech tips, artist interviews, along with our award-winning plugins, samples and preset packs.